Hey guys, White Films here, or Michael White as I'm mostly known. And yeah, I thought I'd just do this live because I've tried to do numerous takes of this here, but just didn't feel good. Didn't just want to do it live, get it done and over with. So, as the title of this live video shows, I want to give you guys an update regarding to a project I was doing some months back, and because I haven't really given you guys much of an update on it, barring from what's been shown on Twitter. But I think my last update on it was probably maybe late September. So, do you remember I did a live stream or something some time ago showing you guys my replica of the Farquhar Mark II layout, I think it was? And I got to the stage where I was getting, I got all the point motors and all wired up, and we were on to the stages of getting the track ballasted. Um, yeah, and then since then, I didn't give any updates after that. So, hello, Jonathan. How's you? So, um, yeah, for those who don't follow me on Twitter, I just want to give you guys a wee heads up on it and to let you guys know what the stages of it is. There hasn't been any progress done at all with this layout. It's pretty much just sitting in the corner of my workshop now, just doing nothing. But the reason is that I really wanted to maybe just replicate this layer because I mean the availability of the kits that makes this model is just still available today. So I thought could I have a go at making this? And yeah, I just thought I might just bite the bullet, have a go of it, but make it so I don't take it to shows or maybe make it as a backup layout in case Farquhar Mark One fails just before a show. Just so I have something to exhibit in case anything happens. So, yeah, like I said, I started the build and I tried to do. Do you remember I tried to do that live stream and it failed at the last minute? And I had to try and do the rest of the live stream using a webcam on my laptop. It just didn't go according to plan, really. So, then that's what happens when you try and use live streaming software, which just crashes after you press go live. So, I don't know. But anyway, yeah, so I carried on from there, and then I started to realize that the layer was starting to fail in certain spots, but I tried not to show it, show it in various updates out there. But I can give you I can give you some details exactly what actually happened, which results in me having to rebuild this layout again. So first of all, is the baseboard construction. I will admit the baseboard construction was not very good. Even though I did show you guys how I did it in the videos, it wasn't the best turnout in my opinion. One of the boards was a bit warped in one way. There was just I think it was just probably just due to the timber that I got from the hardware store, and it just I don't know, it was badly warped in some ways. And I thought the top surface board would help this. It didn't. So I thought, right, okay, let's just carry on, see what we can do. This is all I've got. And then I got to the stage of putting the pulp board on, and I think I did say this in the video that I got a wee bit impatient when it came to putting the pulp board on because I ran out of contact adhesive, which I thoroughly recommend. Like if you ever do like card building and stuff like that, never use stuff like PVA glue because it just warps it to high heaven. And if you remember in that live stream, I said, I got a bit carried away, and I thought there's a bottle of wood glue here. I might as well try that. It's adhesive. It might do the job. Little did I know, when I came back the next day to check on the boards, see how they turned out. Every single one of them had literally bowed and warped completely. It just looked like it kind of looked like one of those new designed Cadbury's Dairy Milk bars. You know those ones that are just all rounded. It looked like that. And I thought to myself, oh no, what am I going to do? So I had to rip up every single one of those sheets of pulpboard and had to order in some more because I had pretty much used up all what I had. So I kind of delayed the progress for a bit. And yeah, I bought some more contact adhesive, stuck it all down. But even with the contact adhesive, there was still some bowing happening in the pulpboard. And I didn't notice this until maybe a couple of months into the build, really, I think. But Uh, but that wasn't the other problem there. The other problem was actually the track laying that I again I don't know how I didn't notice this. I really don't know how I didn't notice this here. But when I was starting to lay the track, I didn't know that the layout had actually but had literally dipped in the middle because I was sitting on top of a couple of tables from IKEA. I think that's what they were from. But the layer was bowed in the middle, this little dip in the middle, and I'm laying the track across it there, and I think, yeah, this is all fine, it's all perfectly straight, it's all flat in it there. That's what I thought, not noticing that there's this hidden dip right across the baseboard joints. And this only showed my mistake once I got the track cut with the Dremel. After I soldered the tracks onto the copper clad board, and when I put it together again, once I had like the boards all like properly level and all that there, I noticed there was this giant gap in the middle, and I thought, oh heavens above, what is this here? And it did cause a lot of issues. In fact, this is also like, from my experience, this is probably the first time my Revenantry replicas of Annie and Clarabelle actually derailed whilst they were running on this layer. This is the first time they ever derailed, and I thought to myself, no, this can't be right. This can't be right. What have I done wrong? And then I realized my mistake, and I was like, damn it, got this wrong. So, and then I think the final straw then was basically the wiring. I spent so much time. I spent probably like, I don't know, 3 to 5 weeks doing the wiring for all the point motors and the controller and that there. And it was just a big mess, really. It was just a huge mess of wires. And I was I was doing all this here after I'd come back from work. I had joined a model railway club that was close by to me. I think it was roughly about maybe half an hour's drive from my house. So I was doing an internship in Tyne, and I was coming back, and I thought, well, by the time this place opens, like the club's up and going here. By the time I get there, it'll probably be from home to this club. It'll probably be ready to pack up again. So I thought, I'll just take the layout with me when I'm going to work and then just go straight to the club after work. But I'm just like so tired afterwards, and I just literally had no enthusiasm at all to make this layout. But I just kind of like pushed myself to try and do it. So, and yeah, it was just on, I think it was on that last evening, and I thought to myself, do you know what? I've had enough of this layout. I'm just going to take a break from it for a while. And then some months after that, there I just looked at it in when I was going. I think I was when I was recording the Ffarquhar Mark One operation video. I just saw it in the corner of the workshop. I thought to myself, you know what? I'm just going to rebuild that layout again because I wasn't really happy with the build. So yeah, that's what's going to happen now with Ffarquhar Mark Two replica. I'm going to rebuild it again. It's going to be a lot more structurally sound. I'm going to use different materials this time. I'm not going to use that pulp board method because I don't know. I don't know what way Revan Audrey laid his pull board on his layout, but yeah, I think I'm just gonna give that one a miss. Just stick with the old traditional standards. I think I'll just use 2x2 timber this time instead of 2x1 because it's a bit more strength, and then just use like sheet of plywood on top, like traditional model railway stuff. Not there. I'll keep the cork underlay stuff because I mean I quite liked it actually. It turned out actually quite well and it was easy to lay down. So yeah, I'll stick with that. Um, but yeah, I think it'll be a while before I do any more stuff on that project for a while. But I'll keep you guys updated as to when I'm back on that project again. However, as you may have noticed in the title of this live stream, I don't know why I'm pointing up there because really the title's down here, isn't it? So the this next project, which basically came to surface here maybe a few months back, before the lockdown happened, and this was during the time when I was down in my model railway club during our time when we were making the Northwestern Railway replica. I was talking to a fellow club member and fellow Thomas modeler Tim Yard, who if you see his stuff on Twitter, if you follow him on Twitter, he's a really good modeler. He really does make some really good Thomas models. And he's recently been doing a lot of Navigate stuff. And on one of these days, he brought in his model of Duke that he had recently finished. And he had it all painted up nicely, but he actually added his name, and he didn't put the Um, Let me see. He didn't put the mid-Sodor Railway crest on the tender like it's shown in the books. He just basically did. He just put like a S, put a what was it, an M and an S really on the tender, and that was kind of similar to the same way as Rev did his model. And I think I can't remember how the conversation went really. So I just asked him. I says like, have you actually got a narrow gauge railway layout to run this on? And he says, well, I've only just got a few Pico set track sections there, but no, I haven't got a layout or anything. So yeah, I just used it just for displays and out there. To which point I then started to think to myself, you know what, I'm actually thinking about doing narrow gauge stuff as well at some point. Because I mean, I have actually modeled narrow gauge. In fact, I think maybe was it last year? Yeah, it was a couple of years back there. I actually started having a go at trying to have a go at making replicas of the Rev models of the Scarlori railway engines that you see in the Towin Narrow Gauge Railway Museum. And I kind of just stopped modeling them. I think I recently got like the Douglas kit to make up Duncan, and I haven't really made it up yet though. I've got the chassis and all that there, but I haven't really just got right to making it yet because I think I kind of lost enthusiasm on it. But I think it was kind of when people started asking me, like, about what's your views on the Revenorge's model of Mid-Sodor? And this was one layout I never really gave much attention to because of the limited information about it. I mean, there is a good deal of photographs. Like, there's only like a small handful of photographs of the layout when it was at the KP. I don't know if that's how you pronounce it. The KP Railway, back in probably early 2005. Before the railway's closure. And once it was closed, the layout was then taken to the care of Christopher Audrey, who now owns the layout, because I do remember asking him back when I first met him in 2008. I says, did you keep any of your father's model railway engines at all? And he says, well, I've got Mid-Sodor, so I just have that in the house there. So it's just more like just a wee display thing really now. So at least I know where that is, but I don't really think I want to get in contact with Christopher Audrey to ask for some reference photographs of this layout, because I just want respect his retirement now, and I just want to have a go at doing all this research myself really. So I actually asked Tim Yard. I said, look, do you want to have a go at replicating Mid-Sodor once we get the rest of these boards made up for the Northwestern Railway replica? Do you want to have a go at replicating Mid-Sodor? And he was like, oh my god, could we do that there? So I said, yeah, sure, but but providing what info that we have right now, it's going to take us a while to work out what the track plan is, because again, like I said, there's only a handful of we're doing like a handful of photographs out there of the layout, so we just have to try and work the track plan using those. And I think I've now worked out what it is. But once we get around to actually building the layout, then we will show you guys what the track plan is. But that won't be for a good while yet. We won't be starting Mid-Sodor yet. But I just want to let you guys know that we're going to have a go at replicating Mid-Sodor. It's just going to be like a private layout. Don't know whether we might take it to shows. We'll see. But we'll just see how we get on here. But yeah, I thought I'd just let you guys know and what way things are with the Ffarquhar Mark II replica. The new storyteller, Hello White House Films, been doing your stories that aren't remakes? I have no idea what do you mean, mate? Sorry. You have to be a bit more specific with that question. But yeah, that's pretty much all I have to say now, guys. I had to do this in a live video because I've tried recording this several times, and each recording turned out differently. And I thought, you know what, let's just go live. Let's just go live for this here. So, guys, that's all I have to say now here. We might be back with Modelers Corner next Friday. I'll see you guys soon, and we're going to be doing another showcase on it there. So if any of you guys want to send in some of your models to show in the showcase, just send me a message on Twitter, and I'll put them into the showcase folder. Right, guys, that's all I have to say now, guys. Thanks for tuning in, and I'll see you guys on Friday. Bye.